All right, welcome back. We're here with James Dobney, a registered home inspector, and we're out in front of a house, and apparently the people have gone away.
They have. They're on holidays for a couple of weeks.
Now, there's some things that you need to know if you are going to go on vacation, and you're leaving your house, and you're out of town, or out of province, or out of country.
Right. Well, you want your house to be in the same condition when you get home as it was when you left. So
now, we're in the driveway, and this is a key right here in the driveway. What did we forget?
no cars.
Oh, okay.
So if any chance that you can get one of your neighbors to park in your driveway, usually streets have all kinds of vehicles parked on them anyway, so they might be looking for a parking spot. Ask them if they'd mind parking in your driveway so that the house looks lived in.
Now, I notice here that the lawn is cut, which is a good thing, but if you're away for an extended period of time, that could change.
It could change, and what you don't want is a lawn that's a foot long or even 6 inches long, and that's another sign that nobody's in the house. So
you're not going to be here, so what can you do? Maybe get a neighbor or hire someone?
Get a friend or neighbor to check every day or two on the outside of the house for sure.
Yeah.
Cut the grass when it needs to be cut. Bring in garbage pails.
Yeah, I was going to say that's another interesting one. Is you've got garbage pails out here, and so obviously if you put these out before you go away, you're in trouble.
Yeah, if they're sitting out there for 2 weeks, again, it's a red flag for a burglar.
And burglars look for those kind of things, don't they?
Sure they do.
They wander around neighborhoods, they'll scope out what they have to and the whole bit.
Absolutely.
Now the other interesting thing, and James pointed out, was, and you forget sometimes about this, is the front of your house. You think the door's locked and you think everything's okay.
Again, you can see most people aren't going to let that kind of thing accumulate when they're not at home. So again, when the person comes around to check your house on the outside, get them to collect the mail, collect the junk mail, collect all the flyers and the newspapers. So.
And most neighbors will do it because you'll return the favor someday, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
All right, now that's the outside. Inside, there's a lot more things you have to worry about. All right, we're actually inside the house right now, and there's a couple of things that you need to worry about, obviously, if you're heading out on vacation, and one of which is right on the keypad wall right here that we all have. At least we hope.
Well, it's your alarm system.
Yeah.
And if you're having somebody come in and check the house, obviously they're going to need the code. Mm-hmm. And in addition to the code, they should also have your password so that if there is an alarm, the alarm company can call them. They can be on the list and they can give the password and they can respond to it. They can come and check the house if the alarm goes off.
So a trusted friend or someone,
Yes.
a relative, something like that.
Definitely.
Okay, now this, we're going to open up this little, I just love these people. Thank you for going on vacation. Let us go through your house. What have you got here? This is a hot water tank.
Hot water tank, and obviously another source of leaks. A couple things with the water heater that you might want to consider is when you go on holidays, there's actually a setting on a gas water heater that says vacation on it. And you can turn this dial, and they've labeled it for you and everything. What that means is you're not paying to heat that water the whole time you're on vacation. So that's one option. You can turn it down, you can save energy. If you decide you want to turn the water off to the house,
okay,
then what you should do is you should change this gas valve from where it says on over to pilot, and then it won't fire up. So if the water for whatever reason happens to drain out of it and your water's turned off, you don't have an overheating situation. So very important with the water heaters to do those things.
Okay, now something else you always wonder about, and that is specifically pipes breaking and things like that, and you showed me something kind of interesting here, and this is explain kind of what you have going here, because there's some good and some bad about this.
Right, well, we have supply lines for the clothes washer, and if you're like me and like most people, they don't bother to turn off the water after they do laundry.
Yeah.
So what that means is that there's pressure, water pressure in those hoses all the time.
Okay.
And the rubber hoses, the black one that you can see there, don't tend to perform very well over a long period of time. They tend to wear out.
So you're talking about these ones here?
These.
Yeah.
The braided steel ones are much better. And I would suggest if you have the old rubber type that you replace them with the braided steel ones. I mean, if you can get in the habit of turning off the water, that's even better.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then at least make sure you have that kind of supply.
I don't know how many people we're going to get to turn off the water every single time.
Not many.
But the one thing that was interesting you showed me that I didn't know is, and we're going to wander through this house, is the fact that the actual water shutoff is kind of in a different place. We're going into the rec room area.
It is, and it's very important that everybody knows how to turn their water off. If you have an emergency and you have to do it in a hurry, you don't want to be hunting around for it.
Sure.
Going down into a crawl space or whatever you have to do. In this case, it's behind this door.
Wow.
And this valve turns all the water off to the house.
Oh, okay.
So turn this, everything goes off. If you go on holidays and you decide you want to do that, not a bad idea. But make sure that if the water has to be, if the garden has to be watered, etc., that's going to be an issue. You're going to have to turn it back on, or whoever looks at the house for you is going to have to do that.
Okay.
So that's where you'd go if you wanted to turn everything off.
All right, we're going to go one more place that we need to fix this house up a bit to make sure everything's okay. All right, moving out of the rec room, now we're into the main foyer area, and there's a couple of things that you wanted to point out here.
Yes, not a good idea. If you've left a vehicle at home, in the garage, wherever, not a good idea to leave your keys sitting out.
Yeah, especially if there's a window right there too. They're pretty easy to see.
Especially then. So,
yeah.
so hide them, put them in a safe, put them in a friend's house.
There you go. You're all set to go. Now you gave me this. Explain what this is.
It's a light timer.
Okay.
And what it is it'll have your whatever appliance is plugged into it go on and off whenever you set it for. So it's a good idea to have 2 or 3 of these around the house, have the lights come on and off at various times. You can usually put it on more than one setting, and the house looks lived in. Plug those, or really any non-essential electrical item is good to unplug. Television sets, stereos, not your VCR if you're recording something.
That's right.
But anything that doesn't have to be plugged in, if you want to unplug it, it's a good thing.
You just showed your age. I think it's a PVR now. I don't know how many VCRs we're using anymore. Maybe a few out there, that's for sure. James, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
And the good news is this house is great, and they'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, good.
All right.